I don't like that. I got a Dr. Pepper. Y'all know this ain't even like my real bag of the things that I eat. But PMS is kicking my butt. I went to McDonald's and got a quarter pounder. I don't even eat burgers. I don't even drink soda except for 1 to 2 times a month. And it's either a crisp Diet Coke with a True Lime packet or ginger ale, like all good God-fearing Black people do. And as soon as I took a bite, I just knew it's not sitting well with me. Couldn't keep down yesterday's food. I digress. But we're not here to talk about me being a little girly with stomach issues. You know, we're here to talk about what is going on book threads, Black book threads specifically, threads as a whole. If you hear fireworks, they're fireworks. I live in LA. They are not gunshots. It is the World Cup, and they also do this on the regular. So excuse the background noise. Still don't know where my mic is. But yeah, Black book threads has been a little wild the past 3 days. It was either today or yesterday that, oh, and to preface this, I'm not going to share anybody's direct account names or actual names or anything of that nature, because even though they posted on their very public accounts for the world to see, might I add, and I am going to commentate on it, I don't need to perpetuate or further push extra eyes to them and their pain and suffering, or non-pain and suffering. I don't know. It's just not for me to do. Also, if you don't like my opinions, that's fair. And you can say that, because I don't really care. These are just my thoughts. But I do like a good discourse. So if you don't agree or if you have opinions, let's chat about them down below. But this woman went on her husband's personal Facebook page and outed him for being a cheater, for cheating at the therapy session, cheating after the therapy session, I believe, that he had begged and cried for, and entertaining over 12 women. And he was a big cheater, huge cheater. Now, why does this circle around Black book threads? That man is a narrator, and he was at BRBF, and he happens to be the narrator of one of my favorite books. And one of my favorite characters. And I didn't even know, because I hate audiobooks. They don't sound like how I picture my man in my head. If you have recommendations, let me know. I'm still trying to be open-minded. I digress. And that started a whole discourse. And I'm on the West Coast, so I'm waking up 2 hours late to all the nonsense, and I have to catch up. I see a photo of this man. I'm like, oh my God. I saw you at BRBF. I saw you. I saw you with your wife, and I saw you with 2 women who were not your wife. And I was confused. I thought y'all was like in a why choose situation and it was an open marriage or polyamory. I don't know. It wasn't my business, but I was a little entertained by how you were moving and grooving at R&B Kickback. But now this sparked the follow-up of people wanting to know who the 12 women were, who were the authors that he was cheating with, because she said he cheated with authors. Some people also aired him for some alleged explicit boudoir activities that he likes, and so they started to go through their BRBF content and see pictures and photos of him trying to catch him in the act and things like that. And some people, I guess, did. But also some authors were accused not by this woman, but by people who had saw her post or alluded to these authors who denied it. And you know, that is slanderous. If you want to get sued and have to run somebody your pocket change, cool, not me. I'ma shut up. But everybody was mad because she didn't air out the other authors of the women. I'm like, I'm surprised she didn't. Again, I've never been married, so I can't comment on what it's like to be cheated on in a marriage and have kids and all those things of that nature. But you have to be very careful when you out people like that. And also, she said she wanted to protect their work. She's a bigger woman than me. Couldn't have been. And I hope he was getting paid in more than, you know, bucks. And I hope this wasn't a trade-off for free narration. I don't know. I'm not an author either. But that then it got so wild. Also, side note, someone started exposing DMs he sent, and he was trying to cheat on Google Meet. Google Meet? You can't even spring for Zoom? If you're gonna be cheating, cheat on FaceTime. Be bold. Get a second phone. Like, Google Meet, that's mad weird. I'm sorry. I don't want to explore our connection on Google Meet. But it got so big that Mrs. Kev on stage and Ryan Michelle Bath, or Bathe, I always mess up you, love her, great actress, as well as Dominique Morgan was all pulled in looking like, oh, what's going on over here? And I love that we can have discourse in the book community and still have things going on. But just so you guys know, we do also read over here. It's not this exciting in a negative way like that all the time. Here's where I had to really start commenting on threads in a public way, because I saw a decently prominent non-Black white BookTube, book talk content creator doing a written recap post of like, hey guys, so here's what's going on, here's what I've been able to gather. Miss Ma'am, why are you gathering the facts and notes of what's happening in this community based off of what you're reading, and like feeling like you need to be the spokeswoman to, you know, alert the press's Lady Whistledown? And not to say that people who are non-Black can't comment on the space, but you can't not be in the community and comment and blast it to the world like that. You know what I'm saying? And highlight us in that, in the negativity that's happening. Because she seems to be a very into romance creator. And I scrolled through some posts, a bunch of them actually, and there was no highlighting of Black authors or Black romance. So I finally had to go over there and comment on her post and ask, so hey, since you're here, since you found us, do you have any Black authors or Black romances that you recommend? Like, let's get back to the nitty gritty and let's get back to what matters if you're going to be up in here. And she commented and she was nice. And she's like, yeah, I love Kennedy Ryan and this, that, and the third. I'm like, we all love Kennedy Ryan. But Kennedy Ryan is a very prominent, prolific figure that's, you know, very mainstream right now. And romance and Black romance at that. So I commented it back and said, you know, that's great. Love Kennedy. Here are some other authors. And I highlighted, you know, a little bit more indie. Some Tahisi B. Williams or Tahisi, Kenya Gori Bell, some of my, just a group of some of my favorite authors. Now, I didn't throw her into urban fiction because she looked like she was ready for that. I wasn't ready for her to be over there. I don't need you in them type of books where they saying, I don't know, something about that makes me uncomfortable, and I'm not here to invite you to the cookout like that. If you find your way, you find your way. Okay? It has to happen organically. It won't be off of me. And she commented back and was nice about it, but I'm just like, you just can't, you can't do that. You can't pop up when it's trending or when it's trending in negative and you ain't never been here to begin with. And you have a wall of beautiful multicolored books, very eye-grabbing covers. None of them covers was of Black women and Black authors. If y'all have watched any of my previous videos, you know I'm a diverse reader. I read about people of all colors and creeds and all the things. So I feel I'm very okay speaking about that. I have no problem. If you don't like it, I don't care. Maybe I don't like you. I don't know. Yeah, it just rubbed me to, it gave a little usury. It gave something to talk about, even though she was super sweet. And if that was not her intention, if you find this, doubt you will, but if that was not your intention, take note of it and move forward and start to not only be an ally, because no one's begging you to be in the space either. I'm trying to put you on to what's hot and what's popping. And these books is what's hot and what's popping, sis. I got good taste. Quiet as it's kept, and soon it won't be that quiet, but I got good taste. The next thing that happened was BRBF came out and sent out their acceptance and rejection emails for the content creator program situation that they have for BRBF 2028. And your girl applied and didn't get in. And it's okay. I didn't expect to, because even though I've been a lifelong reader and a huge advocate of books, if you know me personally, especially of urban fiction and Black romance, carrying a team on my back, you feel me? But I don't have a lot of social capital. And not saying that BRBF is looking for people with large followings, but they're looking for people who they can visibly see via content, posts, or whatever, that actively love and are in the book space. And that they can reference a history of that, not just someone who wants a discount on a ticket. And also, this is their third year and it's extremely popular. They had, 200 applications? I think Talia posted, they had 200 applications within the first 30 minutes. There was a giant pool of talented Black women and men who love, advocate, and speak to Black romance. So they had a plethora to pick from. And sorry, baby, everybody can't get picked. It is what it is. But the email was so sweet and so encouraging. And I'm going to apply again next year. And I'm going to keep applying until they say yes. Because you know what? 1,000 no's usually comes up with one yes. And that's all that matters. But some people were offended. Some people were surprised. And there was one decently prominent content creator whose content I do like. I do enjoy. And this is no shade, no shots to her. She kind of got online and posted her feelings. And that caused a lot of discourse. And her feelings seemed to allude to her shock and surprise and how maybe BRBF was looking to just get even larger content creators with larger followings. And also she hinted at a colorism aspect that she said was rooted in her own insecurity because she's a lighter skinned Black woman. But she opened up Pandora's box, and that's a very, very dangerous game. She offended a lot of content creators on Black book threads, on threads in general, because it gave discontent and gave haterism. And also, and again, I'm not saying that this is her intention because I don't know her personally, but you have to be very careful of what you say, because to accuse or to sound like you're accusing BRBF, and Lauren Lacey is the sweetest woman, her team is some of the sweetest people, of not only, you know, prioritizing large content creators like they haven't been of the community since their inception, but to also allude to this group of mixed complexion Black women, essentially, that there might be some coloristic tendencies, is very, very dangerous and is not a good thing, especially because you're going to want to apply again later. And she said that, or she's going to still want to attend. And again, her phrasing could have been off. That might not have been her intention. She said it wasn't when people, you know, confronted her about it. But we have such a small margin for error in this community, and as Black women, Black people as a whole, you have to be so careful. And even for her, because I don't want this to mess up her bag and the things. And now, if you don't care about content creation or making money or any of those things, blah, 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 and you're going to say whatever you want to say, good, bad, or indifferent, and be canceled, cool. This is just my 2 cents. And so I'm definitely going to have some grace for her, but you know, Black women ain't nothing to play with, and they will call you out. And I don't know if she's going to fully clear it up or she's just going to let it live and let learn and let burn, but be careful, sis. Be very, very careful about some of those things. And when you mess up, it's never like you can't come back from it, but when you mess up publicly, you have to apologize publicly, and that's just the name of the game, and you got some skin in the game. And a lot of people were saying that she didn't highlight a lot of Black books, and her commentary was that it was Pride Month and she was highlighting a lot of Pride Month authors. But if you go back in her content, she had a lot of Black authors and things of that nature is what she's saying. And then some people had commentary on the quality of her content. However, BRBF picks, I want you to know that from the list of the creators that I've been seeing post that they got accepted, very diverse. No one is the same. Do your own thing, run your own race, be in your own lane. And what's for you will be for you, and that's all that matters. But I must say, I like that there is discourse in the Black book community. Call me messy, call me what you want, but I think we need to really push the notion that Black women and our experiences, we're not a monolith. We should be able to raise up and riot and not be judged and called ghetto and messy and all the things. Because if that's the case, people are messy. Do you know how much of us are arguing right now on Love Island Discourse? Casey versus Anaya, and I promise you, dirt him. Anaya got her own problems for sure, but that don't take away that that man is dead wrong. Scrub that Still I Rise from your back, bro. Yeah, I said what I said. But I'm sure there's always, even without the drama and the messiness and the arguing back and forth, I promise you, Black book threads and threads as a whole is a community of interesting, funny, well-rounded people. It is wild over there. I'm on threads at this point more than TikTok. And I'm always refreshing because I don't want to miss it, because it feels like a giant group chat of some of the funniest, greatest friends that I've never met in real life. I don't even know you, and I'm supporting you because I like what you got to say. I like your photos. Your baby's cute. Shout out to you, Robin. And yeah. But now, this is my little chit chat. Tomorrow we will be getting back to the books. I think I'm either going to do one of my mutuals, Kiana Reads, she did like a Christmas in July situation. And I was like, oh, that's cute. I love a good Christmas book. I might start to curate my Christmas list, Kiana. I might start to curate it and respond to you on that one. It's going to be later in July because y'all saw my TBR is a little thick. But we're also thinking about starting a series of books that altered my brain chemistry. And I would love to know some books that altered your brain chemistry, whether it was when you were a kid, a millennial, whatever. Good or bad, too. And also video responses posted, too, because I'm always down to look for a new read and also build my future child's library. Yeah. Do I have a man? No, I don't. But that's not a problem for now. God gonna handle that. But my baby needs a library. Yeah, cute little girl that look like me. Period. All right, guys. It was great chatting with you, and let's run this back tomorrow. Bye.